Today is Saturday, March 23rd. It's a rainy day. Yesterday was even worse. The wind was much worse yesterday. And we're here driving in a beautiful Mercedes GLE. What's the rest of it? GLE, what, 350? 350. With Sarah. Quick turn of that beautiful face. Come on, Sarah. Let me see that face. Oh, there she is. Okay. She's driving. And Lori, let's see your face so people know who you are. No, better one. Better picture, Mama. Okay, now we're all set. We all know who's in the car, and we're driving north on 95, and there's a lot of traffic here on the road. And if you thought New Jersey was dense with traffic, forget it. Florida just takes the cake. You can't build enough highways to accommodate the 10 million people or more that live here, now being probably the most dense state in the country. If it's not the most dense, it's actually the most populated one. So this is what we're looking at. And, and, uh, and we're heading towards the Palm Beach Boat Show, which started 2 days ago on Thursday. Today's Saturday. We want to see what's new, and we want to keep up with everything that's up there that's new, which is what I talk about in my book called Intracoastal Voyage of the Seascape, which is being published as we speak. It's going to be out in about 3 or 4 months. It talks about the navigation of a powered catamaran that's 60 feet long by 25 feet wide, starting in New Jersey and going to Florida. If I were you guys, if you're interested in anything that has to do with Intracoastal and the states that we go through, please pick up the book. I'm the author, Captain Rami Geffner, MD, and my co-author is C. Barker.
Everybody else buying. So they told us that they wanted to sell the building. Jamie found these guys. The brand is called Stay, aka. I don't know what it means, but it's short-term hotel stay. So kind of like a fully furnished mini apartment or whatever. They came and they finished the project, and now they opened a Stay, aka hotel. And it's gonna be like right near where we park when we get to Palm Beach.
So it's a short stay hotel?
Yeah.
What is that?
So you can stay. I don't know if there's a minimum. I think you can stay for one night, but you can stay up to a month if you wanted to. So they have like long-term rates also, which is nice.
But can't you do that in any hotel?
Yeah, but they don't all have a kitchen. So what this brand does is they take over failing multi-family apartment buildings that are being built or that are approved, whatever. And if they're micro small units, like that place Eric really stayed on the river in Fort Lauderdale.
With a kitchen in it?
Yeah, it has a full kitchen. It's an apartment, but it's a hotel.
Each unit does.
Yeah.
But they call it a hotel, like a travel lodge.
Right.
There's another company that does that. Which one is it? It's a hotel chain.
Hold on. Stay America. What? Stay America. Well, maybe Stay America, but no, there's a new one that's bigger. It's the one that Eric and Julie stayed with. What was that place called? With the S. So I don't know. It starts with an S. It's in the north.
So that building that they did that with, you sold that building? Or they bought it?
I didn't sell it, but Native was involved somehow with it. But then we did the leasing for it. So that's where it's right by the boat show. So
What do you do the most? Leasing or selling?
Leasing, because it's easier. Well, not always easier, but it's just more abundant. So I do a lot of retail leasing, warehouse leasing. I take on listings for a few of my clients that I've worked for forever. Mostly office and retail for those guys. Industrial, though, I think is where it's at right now.
But selling is more lucrative, right?
Not really. I mean, it can be, but I think it's harder sometimes to find a seller or a buyer, or a property that the buyer likes, right? But when you do a lease, let's say a restaurant, for example, or even an expensive retail, like if it's somewhere in the $50 a foot range to $60 a foot range, and you find a showroom or somebody like that needs like 5,000 square feet of space, signs a 5-year lease, you can get it done like this and the lease value is like 650,000 to, I don't know, up to $1 million. You get paid anywhere between 3 to 5% on it. It's better than a sale.
And that's a one-time fee.
It's paid 50%. So they sign the deal. They give the move-in funds, which is usually 3 months worth of rent, when they ink the lease, and then they sometimes have a free rent period for their build out. Once their free rent period is over and they pay their first month rent, we usually get paid the other 50% about 30 to 60 days after that, to make sure that they're going to open and they did everything they're supposed to do, and the landlord is not going to lose out on paying us commission if the tenant's not going to make it. So it's a little bit more patience. You can get paid faster during a sale, but I think that the lease is, it's not bad.
If you do a big deal and the tenant leaves within, say, 6 months or a year,
Sometimes they try to come back to us to pay the commission back to them, but we don't usually do that. So we split it up 50-50, because if we do a big deal like that, it could be a $25,000 commission to the brokerage. So instead of asking the landlord for 25K, we ask for 12 and a half. And then depending on what happens with the tenant, if they don't make it, then we don't get paid that other 12 and a half. We only get the first time.
yeah, so upon signing, you get 50%.
Right.
I got it, yeah.
Yep.
What's the biggest deal you ever did on a leasing project?
For lease, that's a good question. I think my highest value lease was like 1.3 million.
And what percentage of that? It was a 3%.
It was a 3% deal. That was a 3% deal. The way that it's split with my brokerage is we start January 1. We have like a drawer. So we all start at 0 sales. Once we hit, how does this work now? 150,000 in sales. It might have gone up. 150,000 or 175,000, sorry, in gross commissions to the company. Then we get bumped up to the next tier. So we all start at 50-50. Once we earn the company 150,000 in commissions, which could be 1 or 2 deals depending on how well you do, then the split changes to 60-40. Once you get to 225,000 in commissions, you go to 80-20. And then I think once you get over like 300,000 in commissions to the company, then you get 90-10.
What is your total income based on commissions, or you get
Everything based on commissions in the company.
You're not getting paid.
Correct.
You don't have a base salary.
No, not at Native.
Well, you know what? There's nothing really wrong with that. And that's the medicine. The way we do it is we give people a base commission, a base salary, and then depending on what they produce, they get a percentage of that deal. But I think it's better to have everybody work.
But we've moved away from that now.
Then you can justify what they do. You know?
So Ron, we've moved away from with the new people. I am. With the new people that we hired, we only give them a salary the first year. After that, they become a percentage of collections only.
Yeah, well, you're doing it now, but before you didn't do that.
Right, I know.
But for me, like for a realtor, I like because I found this like niche managing niche. How do you say it? Managing Airbnb properties for some of my clients that I've sold them to, and it's just good passive income because everybody thinks it's such a pain, but it's actually a very good investment if you do it the right way. So I always have something, a baseline. It's not much, but it's a good baseline.
So everything else is based on volume. Right?
Yeah,
There's,
yeah. If your prices are too high or whatever, if you're not staying booked, then you're not going to make money. Neither is the person who owns the property. My friends actually made an Airbnb management company. They have a really cute website. I'm going to show it to you. We should do this.
yeah, there's a few around now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the way that they did it, I really like the way that they did it. It's branded very, very well.
Like why?
So they have like a website. I think they manage probably like 10 or 12 different listings now, but they have a website that they built on Wix, and it's just basic shit that ChatGPT could write or whatever. but it says what they do for their customers, their reputation, blah blah blah. Simple, basic information. Um, and then they have a couple landing pages off of it, but then they share their Airbnb links so that you could book any of their properties or see everything all from one spot, not just by using Airbnb, if that makes sense. Once you click the link, it takes them to Airbnb.
So they basically advertise the properties that they manage.
Yeah, and then they have like an Instagram so that they're out there on all the channels for everybody. Not, I don't think they're on YouTube, but they have an Instagram. They post the insides of their properties from the professional photo videos or professional photos that the videographer takes when they go there.
But do they concentrate in one area?
Mostly like Broward, yeah. I think Broward's better for the Airbnbs. It's less.
I think that's good.
It's close to the airport. It's better than Miami because you never know what you're gonna get down there. Miami is like a free for all shit show. Broward I like because you have the convention center, the cruise port, the airport, the hospitals, the Bahamas people that come over to go shopping. I mean, you have everything right here, all in a 5 mile radius. That's why I love Fort Lauderdale.
So why you say Miami is a shit show? Why is it?
Well, property taxes, the government, the county government down there is different. The airport is an absolute nightmare, in my opinion.
And it's far.
It's
far from everything.
Yeah, the airport is farther from everything.
They won't allow people to do business when
Miami does have, well, just like Fort Lauderdale does too, but there's a lot of restrictions in Miami. Miami is also more of a condo market. There's a lot of people in Miami that are doing what we call an illegal Airbnb. So not just in the sense that maybe they don't have their state licenses or something like that, in the sense that they live in a condo building, and while their condo building may allow daily rentals or whatever it is, people get down there all the time and they find out that they can't actually rent on that Airbnb, and I think it just has a worse reputation. Plus, it's very saturated hotel market. So why would you stay in an Airbnb if you can find a hotel for an affordable rate? I don't think it makes that much sense. And then you also pay the higher property taxes in Miami. Miami floods all the time. Their seawalls are seriously a nightmare when people talk about like sea level rise and stuff. We're very lucky that we don't see that much in Broward because of the Everglades, and we don't flood as much. We still have areas that we do, but for example, like the houses on Cordova, I've used those as hurricane shelters before, and we sit right on the water, almost right at water level, but Cordova sits 13 and a half feet above sea level. So even when we had a surge, it just sits perfectly on that little grass mound, and we never flood over there. It's pretty nice. And we're on the hospital grid, so we're connected to the hospital's electricity, so we never lose power. I don't know, I think it's a perfect little house. I sleep so good there. It's like a little bunker. Nobody knows where I am. Yeah. I like this one, Mike.
Today is March 23rd, and we're driving to the Palm Beach Boat Show, which started on Thursday. And you can see the congestion of vehicles here. If you think New Jersey is dense and populated and traffic, oh, look, there's a Tesla, wow. But then you can only be betraying yourself because Florida is very trafficky, and we're coming, by the way, down to Palm Beach right now. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like right off 95 North. This is the exit off the Route 95 North going to Palm Beach, and you can see we're kind of stuck in traffic a little bit, but it'll open up. We'll be able to see more of it. So where are we going over, Sarah? Sarah.
Right now, we're just coming through. These are just big drainage
Yep. So we have two mics, one for me, one for Sarah. Can you lower the other back window? Would you mind?
What?
Can you lower the other back window? Thank you. So we're on Okeechobee, coming off Route 95. We're heading towards the Palm Beach boat show. And I just lowered the window so we can see more of where we're going.
So to the right is downtown Palm Beach. Oh, you have it. Oh. So to the right is downtown Palm Beach, and ahead of us is we're approaching Okeechobee Boulevard, which is where we're going to end up taking a turn right around there. This is a section of downtown Palm Beach that just went through redevelopment recently. So they have a bunch of new buildings that they just put up kind of in this area. The way that we just came in on that last road takes you onto Palm Beach Island, which is where all of the gigantic estates are. People like Ken Griffin and other, very wealthy people, they all have homes and stuff over there. Trump, everybody else up on the ocean. So that's kind of like the main boulevard into Palm Beach Island. And then this direction takes us into Palm Beach downtown, which is where the boat show is going to be, over on the intercoastal. So we'll be able to see that when we get over there.
Oh, Channel 5 News.
Channel 5 news station next to us. And then there's a portion of Palm Beach, West Palm, should I say, along the train tracks, which is known as North Dixie Highway, that we're going to be going over soon. That used to be a warehouse district, very similar to what happened with the revival of Wynwood down in Miami, and then Flagler Village in Fort Lauderdale. They're kind of taking that same staple, and they're doing the same thing just to the north of us, along the railroad station. The Bright Line train that they put in, which is the high-speed passenger train, travels at like 90 miles an hour from Miami all the way to Orlando. Once that got passed, there was a lot of birth and revival of all these vacant parking lots, overgrown pieces of land, things like that were underutilized for a long time. So now people are finding value and wanting to build there because they turned it into a transit oriented corridor, is what they call it, TOC zoning, and it allowed for more mixed use projects to come in and kind of really build everything up. It's pretty interesting.
So what parking is it going to be?
Parking, I'm gonna park near our property. Now we're on Banyan Boulevard, so this takes us towards Okeechobee Boulevard.
Where are you parking at?
I'm going to park wherever I find parking. Probably at one of our at the hotel property or somewhere, because the boat show is like here in this zone and here. So wherever I can park, I'm gonna park. It might not be on the phone either. We might have to pay. Boat show parking that way. Oh, there's some parking over here. I'm gonna see if we can get better parking. I'm gonna go closer. $40. Oh, you might see the Bright Line right now, actually.
Bright line. Phenomenal.
So we could park at the courthouse there. It's only a 3-block walk. It's not far. Oh, it already went by. My mini mic. Okay, yeah, I really like the story about the Bright Line. So the Bright Line has been around now for... I know. Well, we missed the train. I don't know what's going on with the railroad, but nonetheless, the Bright Line started like 5 years ago. Oh, look, see, there's some more of the new developments that they're doing. Turn it that way. There's the Bright Line station. There's the train down that way. That's the Palm Beach Bright Line station. And the new buildings that they put up on the outside of it are called Parkline Apartments, multifamily property with like 250 units. But so Bright Line came to Florida because we don't really have any good transit to get us back and forth. And to be honest, to go to Orlando or Tampa, it's quite the pain to have to go all the way up to the airport and go through that process. So they were able to campaign for this train that started about okay, there we go. Brightline started like 6 years ago. They campaigned for it to start happening because it was going to be able to link together Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm in a much more efficient way. The main reason, and now it goes to Orlando. And the main reason that they did this was because they said that traffic was too congested. So they wanted to try to make South Florida become more commuter friendly, so to speak, which unfortunately people down here don't really believe that we're in Manhattan, and a lot of them still don't understand the point of public transportation. But I've taken Brightline a handful of times to Miami. It alleviates like the drunk driving. It makes going to the Heat games very easy. You can even go 80 to 90 miles an hour while you're traveling, and you would have no idea. It's the most modern, beautiful train. There's two different types of tickets that you can get, coach and then premium. Premium comes with free access to their premium lounges in the Brightline station. You get free beer, water, wine, a whole array of snacks. Actually, I have a video I should send to you so that you can add to it. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's really beautiful. And then on the train itself, it's very quiet. They have charger ports, workstations at every single seat. The seats recline. It's a really comfortable train. You can bring your luggage, bicycles. The bathrooms on the train are all touchless, so all you have to do is wave your hand. It opens the bathroom door, and then it like locks behind you. Yeah, same thing to flush the toilet. You wave your hand. It's really neat. And now they've also added other stations. Aventura is now open. Boca Raton is now open, so you can get Miami, Aventura, Fort Lauderdale. They're working on one for Wilton Manors. Boca, West Palm, Jupiter is still fighting for a station because from West Palm it goes straight to Orlando, and it's about an hour and 50 minutes. Whereas if you drove, good luck.
They're going to be putting one in Cocoa Beach also.
That's a different extension. That doesn't go that way.
It goes Cocoa Beach and then Orlando.
Maybe.
Well, they are putting one in Cocoa Beach.
Huh.
Whatever.
Is this garage full? I'm really into this whole microphone thing. Let's do this, Rom. Oh god, I have like such PTSD from Hunter's truck. From Hunter's truck hitting the ceiling. So.